Guys, today I wanted to talk to you about Quill adapters. What are they, and why on earth would you want one? Now, first, to understand what a Quill adapter does, you have to understand two different type of headset styles that the bike industry is using. They're all usually moving on to the newer one, but there's still plenty of people making and using the old threaded headsets. So we're going to start with my road bike here because it has the older style, which is called the threaded headset. Now the way it works is you have the fork here, and then a steer tube which goes up through the frame, and this part of the frame is called the head tube. And then there's bearings here inside cups. Now those bearings need to be clamped down in those cups, and the way that happens is there are some nuts here that thread and screw onto the end of the steer tube, which has threading, and clamps down. And then the actual way to steer the bike is on the stem here. It goes down into the shaft. This is all a welded piece here, and as it goes down into the center of the steering tube, it has a bolt on top that you tighten down, and as you tighten it, these expand, lock into place, and allows you to turn easily. Now, when we move over to the threadless, the way threadless works is the steer tube is going to go all the way straight through, and it can be a variety of heights. You can cut it down, and then you put a nut on the inside, and then another bolt goes into it, but the bolt is just completely stationary, doesn't do anything fancy like the one on the threaded. And what you do is, as you tighten down the bolt that goes on there, it has a cap that you keep on the top, and then the cap puts pressure down on spacers and the stem, and then onto the cups and the bearings. So this just allows very easy, very quick changing of forks, maintenance. Also, this allows you to have easier stem variations. Now, before you had the stem that was all welded and had to have the bottom componentry on it. Now you can just have this that just bolts onto the steer tube, and so you can have all different angles, so this way you can just fit the rider easier. So this brings us to the Quill adapter. What does it do? So the Quill adapter is kind of like that bridge to get you from a threaded fork to having essentially the top of a threadless fork. So it's similar to the stems here, where it actually locks into place, but if you'll notice, it doesn't have any part that's like welded onto it. So this allows you to use the newer type of stems, which allow much more variety of these stems. And actually, since the bike industry is all moving on to threadless, it allows you to use newer components and whatnot, even if you have an older bike or just a bike that uses the threaded system. It can update the look of a bike, and I mean, they come in a variety of options. I just have a small one here from Profile Design. It's not going on this bike, it's going on a different one, but you can get it with so it's taller, so this way it sits up higher if you need. You can also get them in different widths. This width right here is 1 inch, which is usually what threaded are, to 1 1/8 inch, which is kind of a standard for the steer tube of threadless, although there's tons of variation for threadless now of what the steer tube width will be, but usually the stem is going to bolt on a part that's 1 1/8 inch, so it all bolts on there really nicely. And yeah, pretty excited for the next bike that's coming, and if there's any other ideas you have for bike stuff or other questions you have about this, put it in the link down below, and I'll hopefully get back to you, maybe make another video on some other stuff for you guys. Thanks.